the opponents of slavery were ready to deliver the killing blow. Part of their toolkit was to vilify slave owners. They claimed that since slavery was evil, then those who kept enslaved workers were likewise evil. Dehumanizing slave owners and describing them as contemptible would facilitate the erosion of their political influence. Southerners found themselves on the moral defensive and increasingly insulted by such strident Northern claims. Next, those hoping to end slavery, which included those who wished to abolish the institution immediately, since they considered it a moral deficiency on the nation, increased their efforts within the U.S. government. Perhaps slavery could be steadily strangled in the halls of Congress. Southerners were outnumbered in the House of Representatives as well as the Senate. If Northern lawmakers supporting the South, based on states and personal property rights, could be convinced to join the cause of abolition, then laws might be created that would end the institution in the future. What lay at stake was the fate of 4 million enslaved people, worth about $21 trillion in current value to their owners. The ending of slavery was a huge issue that would impact nearly every person in the country. The bottleneck on this approach was the executive branch. The president would have to sign any legislation. This meant that a president sympathetic to the abolition of slavery needed to be elected. This would have the additional effect of placing a leader in charge of the federal government that could use regulatory powers to tighten the death grip on slavery. The U.S. government had important influence over key areas superior to the states. Regulation of interstate commerce, rules about shipping cargoes in national waters, statutes regulating activities in U.S. territories, and other seemingly routine economic concerns might be used as tools in the effort to end slavery. Federal regulation might make the use of enslaved labor too expensive and cumbersome, no matter how individual Southern states or individual slave owners felt about their rights. For instance, the cost of transporting enslaved laborers overland from Virginia to Texas, instead of by sea from Norfolk to Galveston, would add cost to the price of these workers. Such changes to the economics of slavery, abolitionists hoped, would convince slave owners to shift to free labor. The end of slavery would wipe out a massive portion of the owned wealth in the South and completely topple its economy. Most Southerners argued against such federal influence. They believed that the United States and its Constitution protected the rights of states to control their own systems of laws. They also believed it protected personal property, even if that property was in human beings. Yet, Southerners, including Texans, could not agree on what to do about this looming threat to their way of life, but most considered their views to be in line with the founders of the country. In 1859, Sam Houston left the U.S. Senate and came home. Now, Louis Wigfall and John Hemphill represented the state in Washington. Voices for national unity had gone, replaced by views favoring states' rights. Houston had beaten Hardin Runnels for governor and returned to Austin as governor to see what could be done to prepare his state for what might be coming.